What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Thursday team here today. You have myself, AlphaDog Bets, here with my guy, JD, from Line Movers, and with us, as always, back in the saddle from taking over Boston, is Jefe Picks. Jefe, welcome back to the show, brother. You have been missed. How are you?
I'm good. I conquered Boston, to say the least. They can't stop talking about it.
That's what I heard. What was the best food you had in Boston? What was the best restaurant you went to? What was your best I don't think it was the convention you were at. So what was the best experience you had in Boston?
We didn't really get to go out to eat. The only thing that we did was the local group that I'm a part of, not the national group. They rented out the Cheers bar.
Okay.
Now I'm too young for Cheers.
I'm not. We're the same.
Cheers was really prevalent in the 80s. For me, it was nothing. But for some older people, like in their 40s, they were geeking out. I guess it's how I would feel if, my favorite show of all time, like my background music show is The Office. I guess that's how I would feel if I was at an office bar that looked emulated the the main office stage. Because that's what it was. We were at a bar that literally looked like, the bar that was in Cheers. I guess that was their main place where they filmed.
Very cool. Very cool. JD, how are you today, brother?
Doing good, man. Excited to have the crew back today. Excited to have a day full of football talk. And, man, everything's going well. How are you doing?
Living the dream, brother. It's another day. I get to come on here and talk some shop with the boys. Always a good day when I get to come on here, talk some bullshit with you guys, and break down a little bit of some betting as well. Gentlemen, a couple things we always do on the show, but y'all already know that. We're first going to go through our Wednesday recap. JD, over to you. How'd you do yesterday?
Yesterday was a nice little 2-2 day. Lost some juice. It was a play where it was a day where my volume was actually just really low. For actually me, for actually plays is just a pretty small day. So, there wasn't a whole lot going on. But our prop of the day, brought to you by the HOF app, was a nice winner once again. So.
Early, too. I believe there was an RBI triple in the second or third. It was very early in the game. So we love to see JD giving us another prop banger from across the board. And JD, just asking, do we have more bangers today for the people from Hall of Fame?
We sure do.
We love to hear that. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll jump in here next. The Yankees-Dodgers parlay got killed by the Yankees being dog shit yet again. Carlos Rodon was on one of the hottest starting pitcher streaks in baseball, but that did not come through for us. But outside of that, for my VIP, we had a big play on the Cubs money line plus 150. They were able to win that. We had the Royals as well. We were able to win that. And we had the Mariners minus 1.5, and we were able to win that. So the only real bad play I had yesterday was the Yankees-Dodgers parlay. It was still a very good day overall for the AlphaDog team. Over to my guy, Jefe Picks. Jefe, how'd you do yesterday?
1-1. I'm kind of like JD yesterday, and honestly, in this weird little time right now where we're still winding down the MLB regular season and there's no college basketball or NBA for that matter, or even hockey for that matter, I try on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to really not to go crazy. And yes, it was one of those days. I only had 2 plays, 1-1. We lost the Padres. I swear I went to sleep with them up 1-0, and then I woke up with them down 2-1 somehow to the Reds. That's sucky, especially for the Mets, who I faded yesterday and will continue to fade until the end of time. That was my 1 win on the Phillies.
There we go. So a split day for you, JD, about a split day. Me, slightly positive day. Let's turn that around, fellas, and all have a big college football week. And guys, as you guys know, Thursdays are our college football show. So gentlemen, ready to dive into the first college football breakdown of the week?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, gentlemen. I almost missed the thing, JD. I almost put the game up, but I didn't. I put the thing up. All right. A couple interesting storylines in this one, JD. We have the Duke Blue Devils coming in 1-1 on the year. Quarterback Mensa came from Tulane last season. On the other side, for Tulane, Mensa's replacement was Jake Retzloff, the quarterback from BYU that got kicked out of school before the season started. He found his way to Tulane. So this game is very interesting here. Duke Blue Devils quarterback, like I said, Mensa, going up against his former team, but his former team, Tulane, if you guys have watched this show over the last year or two, you know how this show feels about Tulane. They consistently get winners for us. So, JD, I'm going to kick it over to you. We're the 2-0 Tulane Green Wave at home. hosting the Duke Blue Devils Saturday night, 8 p.m. ESPN2. What do you got?
Yeah, man, this is, to me, a very interesting game. It's up here as far as one of the few games we're going to go over this week. I know this is some people's, this is not one of their top games. But actually, I think it is a really good game though. And I somehow lost my notes. This happens once every other month. I don't understand what I do.
I don't either.
Anyway, so I'm just going to
speak from the heart. Speak from the
I
heart.
was just about to say I'm just going to speak from the heart here. As far as last week, everybody knows that actually I was on Duke. That was actually one of my favorite plays last week. If you just look at the box score, you think that game was not close.
It was a close game.
You would actually think that actually Duke got killed, but they did not. If you actually watched that game, they actually turned the ball over 5 times. As far as Duke was the better team throughout parts of that game. I'm not saying that they were the better team for the whole game or anything like that, but there was definitely good actually parts of that game where actually Duke was the better team. They just killed themselves actually a lot of the time. So anyway, you have Duke coming off of that loss, and as far as actually Tulane goes in this spot, Tulane wishes that actually Duke would have won that game. So actually then Duke was coming in here actually coming off the big win, feeling good and all that stuff. And then Duke, I think, is still a good team. And this number, I think it has a lot to do with, as far as the box score and actually what people see as far as that actually last week. Now, as far as the Tulane side, they are also a good team. I have nothing actually against them. Just actually like you said, Alpha, as far as money, they have made us a lot over the past year. This is just a spot for me where I have to take the Duke side here. I actually bet Duke. I actually bet them on the money line. I believe I got plus 102. This seems like a spot where Duke knows that they can play really well. And they know that last week they just basically fucked that up. And they're going to come in here pissed off. And I do think that overall they are the better team here. So that's why I'm going to ride with them.
I am on the opposite side, unfortunately, JD. If this was at a neutral site, if this wasn't in Yulman Stadium in New Orleans, I would maybe think about this one differently, but this place is going to be rocking on a Saturday night. Duke, I think, will struggle with the crowd noise. Tulane has a veteran quarterback in Jake Retzloff who knows how to handle big-time moments, big-time games, and win those big-time moments and big-time games. It's a shame these two teams are playing each other this early in the year because I actually really do like both teams, but I like Tulane a little bit more, especially at home. One thing, JD, we always talk about in the show, not always, but we sometimes bring it up, is the ESPN matchup predictor. What are the analytics and the AI saying that they think is going to happen in this game? And Tulane has currently been given a 77% chance to win. To me, that's very, very high. We don't usually see a huge discrepancy in that when the team's a minus 120 versus a plus 100 or a plus 102. But I agree with ESPN here. The crowd is going to be rocking in Louisiana, and I do think Tulane comes up, shows out big, and Jake Retzloff is able to take them over the top. On the year, Jake Retzloff still hasn't thrown an interception, has 2 passing touchdowns. To add to that, he has 2 rushing touchdowns. That's one great thing about Retzloff. He doesn't turn the ball over frequently, and Mensah can make a couple mistakes from Duke, and you are able to force a couple turnovers. I think that will be the difference on the road here, and Tulane will be able to force a few turnovers and get the win. So give me Tulane on the money line at minus 120. Definitely one of my favorite plays of the college football slate.
One other thing, Alpha, though, quickly, as far as this game, we actually talked about it. It was actually with Baylor actually last week.
Yeah.
But this is one of those early season games where for Duke, this is kind of like a must.
This is it for them. They lose this game, they're done. But let's be honest here, JD. I don't think Duke was a contending team for what people say. If you lose this early in the year, you're done. That really kind of means college football playoff, in my opinion. That's how I kind of interpret it. And to me, Duke was never a college football playoff team. That's just my opinion on the team. Same with Tulane, though. I think Tulane's a very strong team. They could finish in the top 20, but I don't think they are a college football contender, if playoff contender, if that makes sense.
Right.
Jefe, what do you think about this one?
This is what do I think about this one? It's real simple. Duke let me down big time last week, and I will not fall into that trap again. Last week, in the first half of that game, Duke was actually super competitive. In the second half,
They look very good. They look great in the first half.
Died, and I think this game here, they're facing a much better offense than they did last week, and I think they won't even be that close at half. I'm taking Tulane, and I see the recency betting here being like, man, Duke can't do this thing 2 times in a row, can they? Yes, they can. Yes, they will. I've seen it time and time again. Give me the green wave. Fantastic logo, by the way. Question, where is Tulane?
Okay. I said 4 times in my video, in my breakdown of this, but it is in Yeoman Stadium, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Show is.
All right, gentlemen, you ready to go into the second game of the week that we are breaking down?
Definitely.
Let's get after it. Next game we're breaking down is the Arizona Razorbacks. Jesus. Arkansas Razorbacks going into Ole Miss, taking on those Rebels. This is a 7 o'clock Saturday game on ESPN. SEC Showdown. Both teams come in undefeated at 2-0. Ole Miss ranked 17th in the nation. Arkansas still unranked. Guys, let's take a look at their first 2 performances for each team. Well, Arkansas has beat Alabama A&M Bulldogs 52-7. They also beat Arkansas State Red Wolves 56-14. What does that tell you? They've played nobody. On the other side, Ole Miss has played Georgia State, who, a year or 2 ago, maybe 3 years ago, they weren't bad. Not the same program anymore. They were killed 63-7. And then their game last weekend for Ole Miss, they went to Kentucky and they beat Kentucky 30-23. So they've had a real game, a real challenge, and they were able to bring it home there. Jefe, we didn't start with you in the first one. We're going to kick it off with you on this one. Shut up, J-Bo. I see what you're saying here. I know. I said it wrong. But back to this game. We got the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Ole Miss Rebels. What do you got?
I want to give you a little bit of credit. Arizona, I know where you're headed with that. Arizona Diamondbacks, Arkansas Razorbacks, similar little things in their logos. I hate on you too much.
I appreciate that.
Looking at this game, Arkansas's played fractions of. Is everything okay?
I don't know if you guys can hear that dog. I don't know if it's in a fight to the death, but there is a dog absolutely losing their shit outside my door.
Oh yeah, no, we hear it. We're gonna fight through it though, because to me, this is a great game. First of all, this total. I don't know if I agree with this total, but I understand why. It is really good line movement. I lean towards Ole Miss, but really my favorite play in this game is I'm looking at the running backs. I'm looking at Kawan Lacey for Ole Miss. Ole Miss puts out good running backs, people. They just do. Quinshon Junkins was a Ole Miss running back before he went over to Ohio State. They had Henry Parrish Jr. last year. He was pretty good. I thought he was back this year. He must be still injured. Could be wrong. But anyway, Kawan Lacey is their lead back this year, and he's been crushing it for them. Already has 4 touchdowns, 3-touchdown game last week against Georgia State, and 1 touchdown in his opening game, and I can't remember who the hell they played. But anyway, that's what I'm looking at here. I'm thinking Kawan Lacey is going to be the head back here. I see the best odds that I could find. I wanted to get it to 90, and I found over 90 rushing yards at minus 135 odds. That's what I like. If he's running, if he's getting yardage, Ole Miss is going to win this game. They're going to move the ball. Ole Miss, obviously, they have a new quarterback. Dart is not there anymore. Don't know where he is because he's definitely not playing anytime soon for an NFL team.
He'll be starting next week, week 3. I've told you to the date.
$1,000 bet.
Week 3.
$1,000 bet. $1,000 bet.
Week 3.
We will never put him on Sunday Night Football versus the Chiefs. Chiefs 0-2, Giants 0-2. You're not putting your legacy, your everything you invested.
The football show's tomorrow, but if you're saying the Chiefs are going to be 0-2 today, I cannot wait for tomorrow. Let's continue.
I'll let that out right now.
Chiefs are going to be 0-2.
Love the Eagles. Do I think the Chiefs have a chance to cover? Yes, I do. Do I think that, and I'm going to go right back to this game, I promise. Last sentence. Do I think Vegas is either going to go bankrupt or be able to build another Las Vegas strip off of the Chiefs teaser plus 7.5? Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
You
But
think you
I'm
get
not-
blown out? You think they're gonna get blown
No,
out?
no. I'm saying that is going to be people are going to see Chiefs plus 7.5, put it in every teaser. Everybody's either going to win or get bankrupt. Like that's going to be the heaviest play, in my opinion, in the teaser world. Sorry, back to this game. Quan Lacey, he's averaging over 20 carries a game. I think for the Rebels to win this game, they got to get him involved often and early. He's my favorite play. 90 plus yards, minus 135. Little trivia for you guys. What do you think his anytime touchdown is at?
Minus 150.
No, more.
What do you got? Give me a number. Throw it out.
Super juice. Probably like minus 300.
Minus 265.
Jesus.
Man's a bell cow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that it for the Jefe review?
Yeah, unless you want me to go back to why the Jackson Dart will not start in week 3.
Over to my pick for this game. I have a parlay, guys. I'm not taking either of the sides here straight up. I am taking Ole Miss on the money line. We're not covering the second game, but I am partnering them with LSU on the money line. You can currently get that parlay at a minus 110 odds. Exactly what I'm playing. Ole Miss should have no problem winning this game outright. I think so as well. And I also think LSU at home against Florida is an absolute mortal lock that they're going to win that game outright.
That is so sexy. I'm bringing the pen out. I'm writing it down.
Good. Yeah, both teams are minus 7.5 on the spread, guys, and I do think both absolutely win. I'm not comfortable taking either on the cover. I'm more comfortable taking LSU on the cover than Ole Miss. However, I do think Ole Miss and LSU, both teams are at home. They get it done. Minus 110 odds are the parlay. Exactly what I am playing there. We have a question from Benjamin. What are our thoughts on the total? I was about to kick it to you, JD, but I saw the question in the corner of my eye. All right. The total in this game is 61.5. 61.5. JD, I kind of think it's a little high. I don't have a great read on the total, though. I'm more confident sticking with my Ole Miss in the money line, the parlay. JD, I'm going to go over to you. What do you think about the total, and what do you like in this game?
Well, yeah, you're on the side in this game. Jefe has a nice prop in this game, and I happen to be on the total here.
That worked out very well, Benjamin.
Out perfect.
We didn't even speak about that behind the curtain look. We never even spoke one time about that.
Nope.
Never did. Yeah, guys, I had a bunch of really cool stats to say here to back all this up. So this is about to sound as square as it can probably ever sound.
Give a sermon.
But, guys, both these teams, they do like one thing, and that is score the football. Both these teams can put up a lot of points. They both like to play fast. To me, this just sets up as a great over spot. I know the total for a lot of people that seems high. This is one that I think we see into the 70s here. This is, for me, it really is like that type of game here. And I do think that Ole Miss wins this one. As far as the Ole Miss as actually like, as far as their team total, I definitely also lean that way. But for me, I just have a very large edge on the total here. As far as my number, I do not even want to give it out because I'm so far off.
I want to hear it.
71. 71.
Okay. So
that is and like normally that would be like an outlier number, and I would like be like, what's going on here? Like I don't want to touch this. Like, because normally I'm not that far off. Like I'm just never normally that far off on like anything. But for this one, to me, it just makes sense. And like I said, I had a bunch of just their, regular stats that they've done so far this season. But anyway, yes, both of these teams, I actually think that Ole Miss, like I said, puts up a bunch of points. But I also think that actually like Arkansas can also put up their share. So.
There we go. Well, let's roll this right into our final college breakdown of the day. Then we're going to get into the Thursday night football game. But before we do, there is a pretty big game that we're going to talk about, and you guys can see already on the screen which game that is going to be. We have 4th-ranked Georgia going into Tennessee, taking on the Vols. Georgia on the road, 4.5-point favorites here. Tennessee at home, 4.5-point dogs. Both teams come in 2-0. Okay, I have a question. I just entered the rankings of these teams. Why does FanDuel and ESPN have such different rankings of these teams? They're not even close to each other. FanDuel right now, for their official rankings, has Georgia as the 4, Tennessee as the 22. ESPN has Georgia as the 6 and Tennessee as the 15. I don't know which ranking either are going by, but it doesn't really matter.
It is actually 6 and 15.
That's what I thought. Why does FanDuel then have it? Whatever. It is what it is. FanDuel's wrong. Go by the ESPN rankings. That's what I thought it was as well. This game opened with Georgia as a 6.5-point favorite. It has been bet down. I'm saying on some books now at 3.5. You can get it anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5. So we've had a ton of action on this game. Jefe, we're going to start with you. We got Georgia. We got Tennessee. What do you like in this matchup?
So it's funny, but nobody's talking about Georgia, right? Like not one person, not anywhere in terms of championship contenders.
JD, guess who Georgia played last week?
I mean, I know. I mean,
Austin Peay, JD. Austin Peay, and they barely beat them. I mean, they won 28-6, but it's fucking Austin Peay against SEC Georgia. Maybe that's why people aren't talking about this Georgia team.
There was a lot. There was a lot going on there in that game, though. So,
Jimmy, exactly what I was alluding to. Exactly what I was alluding to.
Here's the thing. Georgia really never kills anybody. Their identity has never been, let's run up the score, let's drop 60 on somebody. No. Their identity has been, we're just going to absolutely play stellar defense and run the ball down your throat until you can't take it anymore. And then our linebackers and our backup linebackers and our backup linebackers are going to just kill you because we have the best defense ever and just produce players. And I think this is a tough one to choose a side on. Tennessee's looking good, looking like a fast-paced offense. And
Nico who?
Yeah, exactly. How is he doing at UCLA?
He sucked.
Look it up. If you were on Twitter last week for the game and you searched Nico, whew, every UCLA fan, we paid $1 million for this fucking guy. They are not happy.
Anyway, I think Kirby Smart's gonna have his guys ready to go. These are the games where coaching really does matter. And Kirby Smart's the better coach here. I have respect for Tennessee's coach and everything that they're doing at that organization. But I just think I trust Stockton way better.
Georgia's had the same QB for the last 8 years. Stetson Bennett, Gunnar Stockton. It's the same guy.
Carson Beck, yeah.
Same guy.
Have you ever seen Carson Beck and Stockton in the same room together? Exactly.
Same guy.
Anyway, guys, here I got another player prop, and guess what? It's another running back one. Nate Frazier, lead dog in the running back room. See what I did there? Anytime touchdown, -110 odds. Guys already got 2 touchdowns on the year. Georgia's not been scoring a lot, so him having 2 touchdowns on the year is kind of actually a big deal. And I like it. Fits how I think this game is going to go, which I think is going to be rough. The winner of this game is going to win the clock, and I think Georgia is built for that. I lean Georgia. I hate the damn hook at a -3.5, so I'd rather take Nate Frazier's anytime touchdown.
I respect that. J-Bell, do the thing while we let JD go next. J-Bell, do the thing.
Well, Jefe, you started to break this game down just right. Because like you were saying, Kirby Smart and those Georgia Bulldogs, they do not run up the score on actually anybody, and actually unless they're playing like a ranked team, and then they're happy to go ahead and beat the absolute shit out of somebody. But like when they're playing a very low ranked team, when they're laying 30 and 40 points, they do not cover that. I wish I had my notes here in front of me, but like Kirby Smart with actually spreads over, actually I believe it was -30. His actual record is horrible. Like they just do not run up the score. So you're seeing Georgia, they've actually played 2 games where they were laying 39 points and then 46 points. So as far as against the spread, they did not cover those. Then you have Tennessee, on the other hand. They are 2-0 actually like ATS, where they were laying 13.5 and then 39. Last week they won the game 72-17. So people are seeing that, and that is what Heupel does. He does run up that score against bad teams. Yep. So far in this season, Tennessee, yes, looks like they are just this great team, just blowing everybody out. But like I said, that's what they do. Georgia, on the other hand, does not. That's why this number, like you were saying, Alpha, has dropped 3 points now. went from 6.5 down to 3.5.
Yep.
Because of that. And that's crazy to me. Kirby Smart, just actually like Jefe said, he is the better coach here. Kirby Smart owns this fucking team.
Yep.
Owns them.
Yep.
He has beaten them, I believe, 8 straight times, and I actually believe it's like covered 7 straight times, or either has covered 7 of those 8. I think that we are getting a gift here, guys. As far as Georgia -3 in the hook. I'm actually going to take this on some alt lines too. But yeah, the Georgia line here, I think is an absolute gift.
I can understand that. I'm taking the under here. Jabo put it in the chat. The under Thunder. I think this one goes comfortably under. It's an SEC matchup where I think both defenses will show up. I don't think either offense is spectacular, just to be honest with you. I mean, Georgia scored 45 points on Marshall. Tennessee scored 72 points against Eastern Tennessee State Buccaneers. So when they play some real teams, I do think that these scores will be lower, and I think it's going to be a close game. I do think Georgia does pull it out. I do think Georgia does end up covering, but I'm more comfortable on the under, and that's exactly what I am playing here, guys. Under 49.5. It will be an official play from me. Our guy David, who just hopped in the chat, likes this all the way up until 6.5, and he's taking it at 3.5 as well. So I'm sure there'll be multiple bets there. Our guy Jabo likes it as a 24-10 game. Very happy with that, Jabo. That gives us a lot of cushion on our under. So let's get that to happen there. I think the boys will all take a 24-10 game where we all cash on this game. Gentlemen, anything else you want to add on the college football segment for this week's college football show? Anything else you want to touch on? Maybe that Rutgers is undefeated, looking like the future national champs, or would you like to just dive into the Thursday night football game?
Well, I got my favorite POD. Stop me if you heard this before. It's another running back POD. We didn't touch on this game. Do you want me to wait for the best bet segment to drop that?
Because then we could put it into the into our best bets sponsored segment.
Yes, sir. Other than that, I just think it's absolutely insane that Clemson opened as a 9.5, moved to a 6.5, is now at a 3.5. At Georgia Tech. That's no disrespect to Georgia Tech, but
and the 3.5 is plus 100. That line is really like a 3.
I am so close to just taking Clemson for an ungodly amount.
You want to see an underplay that I'm going to be all over? That is the one game this week I am targeting for a mega under.
Listen to me, and Alpha. At halftime of last week's game, I went
yes,
Clemson, bonkers. I put everything. It was, and they came out, and within 2 minutes, not only did they tie the game, they took the lead right back, and they never looked back, and they looked great. I get it. Troy is not Georgia Tech, and I do have respect for Georgia Tech. I think Clemson smashes them. I think they have to. I think they got it together last half. They played a solid half football. I love Clemson. I'm not taking it right now because I agree with what Alpha said. I think that number keeps going down, man. I think Georgia Tech heavy. I just wanted to make note of that.
I appreciate that. And guys, my favorite play in that game is the under. JD, anything on that game before we keep it rolling?
Yeah, I'm on the same I'm thinking the same exact way here. Clemson is definitely who I want to be on here at this number that's just dropped so much. Clemson, first 2 weeks, they have not made me look good as far as the takes that I had on them. But this number I think has come down way too much. But it, like you're saying though, it is literally still on the way down though. So I'm just sitting back and waiting. So
you might as well. Yes, that's right. That's right, Nick. Mega, super, talking dirty under in that game. My favorite play by far in that game. For me, at least. All right, gentlemen. It's time to get in the meat and the potatoes. The room is starting to fill up. People are here. We tweeted out we're about to get the NFL, and the people want props, sides, totals, and maybe even a little SGP. You boys ready to get into the NFL?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thursday Night Football. We got the Commies. We got the Packers. Both teams are coming in undefeated. The Commies took the Giants out back and took them to the woodshed. You know what I mean by that. The Packers, who, let me reiterate, my preseason NFC Super Bowl representative, was the Green Bay Packers, and I'm standing by that for sure after what I saw in that game against the Detroit Lions where they went and won 27-13. That game was probably not even as close as the final score reflected. Green Bay fully dominated that game from start to finish. JD, we are starting with the Commanders and the Packers. Let's start with a little, maybe a side or a total. What do you got in this one before we get into some props?
Yeah, this as far as just the side, I do not have a side play currently, but just kind of to talk about it a little bit. We were looking at a look-ahead line here of the Packers favored, but by a 1 and a hook here. Mm-hmm. So now it's moved up past 3. It's at 3.5.
I understand that. That makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, Packers looked absolutely phenomenal, especially on defense, holding down. Now, you can get into the particulars of why, but on paper, they held one of the NFL's best offenses last year to looking like they didn't even remember how to play offensive football this year. And obviously, the mega optic of Parsons. The defense looked phenomenal, and Jordan Love looked extremely healthy, extremely in charge of his offense, and hitting to all of his wide receivers. The thing that didn't look great for the Packers is probably their biggest strength, which is running, and nobody's worried about that. That's why I think the Packers are moving up.
Well, as far as actually Love, there's what I talked about, was like if the Packers do well is actually because I think Love plays well, and like that's what happened there. But as far as that first game in the Lions, we'd actually talked about that before the game, about how the Lions offense, we were very afraid of that first game. Yeah. And it certainly, I mean, as far as the Packers defense, I mean, yes, you have to give credit to them, but it was also what we thought was going to happen, and the Lions were going to have a rough actually first week.
You're correct.
So I definitely think that it was definitely a combination of both of those.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So moving to 3.5, I think that's a little much. Like I want to take the Commanders as long as I can get that hook, but like I am going to stay off of the side here because before last game, as far as the Packers, I said I just wasn't quite as high on actually them as y'all were, and they came out and did look great. But I'm ready to see that, a couple more weeks here before I can fully jump on that train. The thing for me here on this game is both of these teams, they both got good wins, but as far as on the offensive side of the ball, they never had to push it. Like we never really saw completely what like each of them had because they both had leads and they never really
yeah, I get what you're saying. They were never in a high leverage situation in week 1.
Yes. And tonight on Thursday Night Football, that is one of the spots where normally is as far as into the season as we get a little more, I always look towards that home team because the road team, the home team just has such a big edge on that Thursday night game.
Oh yeah.
And then I think since Thursday Night Football, if you go back, I believe unders are like hitting at around a 60% clip, or
that's correct,
or something around there. This is one I actually like over here, guys. I actually bet this at an actual 48 flat. This game screams like a 27 to actually like 24 game to me. Just absolutely screams that. But I think as far as the offensives go, I think that actually both do actually well here. And I think that this total is a little too low. I actually have the total at a little over 49. So being able to get it at the 48 here is definitely a number that I like.
I quickly just want to talk about the Packers-Lions game 1 and what makes me still so high on this Packers team. And I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball. Let's take a look at the statistics of this team, which do I need to remind everybody that the Detroit Lions had arguably the best offensive line in football last year. They were the best running team. They had Penny Sewell in there. They had a lot of big names guys in there. JD, what do you want to add?
Just really quick. I just looked, guys, this actually number is moving to 3 almost everywhere currently. So if you want that hook, you need to bet it right now.
Yep. No, I definitely think if you want to know, you would have to do that. So let's again talk about this Packers defense, guys. Let's take a look at sacks. Rashawn Gary had a sack and a half. He had 7 tackles on the game. Rashawn Gary is an absolute beast on the defensive side of the ball. Lucas Van Ness, another defensive end for the Packers, also had a full sack. We all know Micah Parsons had a sack as well. In total, the Packers team had 4 sacks on the game. Not only did they have 4 sacks on the game, they were able to get by the Detroit Lions offensive line and have 9 QB hits. That is a lot of QB hits in a football game. Let's compare that to how the Detroit Lions did, who, let's remind everyone, they spent a lot of money on DJ Reed. They have Terrion Arnold. They have Brian Branch and Alex Anzalone. On the back end, this Detroit Lions is a very good secondary. Let's look at their front of their secondary. They have to have some guys there. Don't forget Kirby Joseph, one of the best safeties in football. Let's take a look at the front. They have Aiden Hutchinson. They also have a good linebacker core. They also have Marcus Davenport. This Lions defense has some dudes and dogs. There's no denying that. Well, as I alluded to earlier, I said the Packers had 4.5 sacks in the game. Detroit had 0 against the offensive line of Green Bay. How many times do you think Detroit got to the quarterback and put a hit on Jordan Love? 2. They had 2 QB hits. Tackles for loss. They had 1 against this Green Bay offensive line. What does that tell you guys? This Green Bay offensive line is the real deal. We talked about that coming into the season, that was going to be a major factor for this team. They have bolstered, they have improved, they have gotten guys back, and they looked fantastic in that first week game. And then on the other side for their defense, they were wreaking havoc, like I said, all game long in the backfield. Tackles for loss, this team had 9. QB hits, this team had 9. Sacks, this team had 4.5. So for me, how do you win football games? It's the trenches. It's the trenches. And Green Bay dominates on both sides of the trenches. And there's no denying that. So for me, like I said, the Packers are a team that I think has a real good chance to make the Super Bowl. Back to this specific game. JD, it's tough because I want to take the Packers at 2.5. Let's be honest. I want the Packers at 2.5. Right. Would I take the Packers at 3.5? No, I would not. Would I take the Packers at 2.5? Yes. Yes, I would. For me, if it's at 3.5, I don't mind taking a Commanders play, but if you can get a 2.5 on the Packers, that's the line I like the most. I know it's only a 1-point difference there, but that 1 point is the difference in the NFL. That 3 number is such a key number in NFL betting. For me, you can currently get a -3 for the Packers. I think at worst with that, they will push. I think the Packers win this game by somewhere in the 3 to 6 point range in a 1-touchdown game. That being said, the Commanders looked really good in week 1. They really did. But what is the issue right now with the Commanders, in my opinion, is their offensive line. They look decent against the New York Giants. My high school would look decent against how the New York Giants showed up last weekend. The Commanders are starting a true rookie at right guard. I do think Micah Parsons will take advantage of Connerly tonight, and I do think this Green Bay defense will wreak havoc against this Commanders offensive line. My official pick is going to be the Packers -3. You can currently get that at a -108 odds, and that's exactly what I am playing. If this goes up to a +4 for the Commanders, which I don't anticipate it would, I would lean the Commanders side. That point is critical in betting the NFL. So for me, I'm on the Packers. I just said a whole lot to tell you guys. I'm on the Packers -3. Jefe, what do you like before we go into some props and SGPs that I love in this game? Because JD, like you, I think this one has a lot of points.
I am on the same thing as you. I really do like Green Bay. I like them at home. I like everything that I saw. Commanders, I think, had basically a preseason game last week. And I could even point to the fact that I don't think they played all that well. I just think they played a team that never really had a chance to win, and they let the Giants hang around almost too long. But you know how the Giants
I would agree, dude. It was the fourth quarter. The Giants were down by a touchdown with the ball. Yeah. I didn't think the Commanders did anything good. I thought the Giants were just that fucking bad.
Yeah. Scary Terry was unexistent, and that makes a lot of sense because he didn't practice at all season. Debo played well, but I'm not sure how well he's going to play in that role that he plays when he's the slot guy, half running back, half wide receiver, and then he looks up and, it's Micah Parsons dropping down in drop coverage over the top. Green Bay on defense, by the way, is pretty solid. Yes, they let Jair Alexander walk, and if you watched how he played on Sunday Night Football, you'll see why they let him walk. Oh, Ben.
How bad was Jair? I mean, great point to add that. He was torched. He was torched.
Looked, honestly, one word, old.
Old. Good way to... How old? He can't be that old. Hold on, let me go.
It's not that he's that old, but I have this thing. When an NFL team, a contender, not a non-contender, when a contender lets a player go, just walk out the door, or trades him for nothing, who's been a staple in that offense, the staple on that team, there's a reason for it. The contender's not looking to lose. So Jair Alexander lost a bunch of stuff. I mean, the guy's been injured a lot. Availability for this, what?
If you Google him, he had a quote about himself, said, I played boneheadedly and was terrible. He's only 28 years old, so he's not old yet, but the injuries look like they may have been starting to take a toll. There's 6, if you just Google Jair Alexander, there's 400 articles about how bad he was in his first game. That's what every headline is on how much of a disappointment he looked. So have a great point there.
Yeah. So Pack's still great. I don't know which one of you said it. First of all, Benjamin, I mean, Alpha, you gonna say anything? Because those words never came out of this mouth. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna let something else out of the bag right now. Number 1 survivor pick. Close your eyes. You don't have to worry about it. Go to bed. Just wake up next week already. Cowboys.
Okay. What are you gonna say about the defensive line? Yeah, I'm somewhat. It's your moment. I'm gonna go after you.
I never said they had a top 3 defensive line. I think they're lucky to be in the top half of the league. And the problem is, yes, on paper, defensive line is great. But when you know that that's the strength and a team could obviously easily pass on your horrendous secondary, what does it matter about the D-line?
Giants had 3 sacks, by the way. Giants had 3 sacks.
Whoopity-doo-dah.
I mean, no, the whole game was 2nd and 20 for the Commanders. It was the 2nd and long that killed the Giants. It was not the 1st and 10, 3rd and long, 2nd and long. It's because the Giants' defensive scheme with Shane Bowen played 10 yards push coverage where they were back off of all the wide receivers and gave up all that space to let them catch it, and they try to tackle them in front of them, and they'd miss every fucking tackle. Don't get me going, Benjamin. We're doing this tomorrow about the Giants.
Anyway, guys, I like the Packers in a parlay here. That's where I'm rolling with this one. I have a parlay that I'm working. What happened?
A New York Giant does live 2 doors down for me. I will not disclose who. And as I said that and screamed that about the Giants, there was just about 6 bangs outside, so I don't know if he's walking by, but that potentially could have been.
Probably not. Not that.
Probably not.
Anyway, I like the Packers here on a money line. I like them. I have a few that I like, but I'll just use this one with the Bills at a plus 100 even parlay. Packers Bills money line parlay. I don't have a side on the total. I can see it going either way. Historically speaking, Thursday Night Football are mucky, not great football games that go under. But it's the first real Thursday Night Football. So
exactly,
that being unrested versus rested theory can't come into play right now. So I could see points being scored. Commanders going into Lambeau. I can't see them getting the win, but I also could see this being close. I don't see the Packers. Here's what I'll say. I don't see the Packers playing as good offensively as they did last week. I don't see the Commanders playing as bad as they did offensively last week. Where I think this game is going to be just one is both defenses. Because both defenses looked good, but versus inferior opponents to what they're playing today. Hector. That's a good one. Are we moving to props now?
We are.
All right, good.
We'll go off there. I was about to say we're going to start with Jefe. He seems chomping at the bit. What do you got?
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going to go down the line because I think this is a game where if I didn't have to give a side, I would just look at props. There are a lot to look at.
First of all, it's not like you're in Guantanamo Bay and you're being forced to give out a side here. If you would like to just give props like you did for several other games, none of us are going to castrate you. No one in the audience. My guy Hector, he ain't going to come for you. My guy Thomas, my guy Benjamin, J-Bo, you're good. If you want to do props, you can do this. Isn't Guantanamo Bay.
Everything you said was true except about Hector. Because I've seen Breaking Bad. And that is just I don't know. I don't trust Hector. Sorry, man.
I was going to say, Hector, this is his first time ever commenting, and you're going to really go after him.
Hector, for you, I gave the side. Please don't hurt me. Anyway, let's move on to the props, guys. Look, Josh Jacobs is minus 200 for anytime touchdown. Can't do it. 2 touchdowns, plus 260.
There's no value. There's no value, Hector.
There's nothing there. There's no reason to take it. Move that aside. I got one for each team, anytime touchdown. Tucker Kraft for the Packers.
Had one last week, if I'm not mistaken.
He had the first touchdown last week. I think this guy is going to level up this year, and you'll see him become Jordan Love's safety net on offense. One for the Commanders. I'm going with Austin Eckler, guys. I think there's a whole lot of people here that love them some Bill Krosky merit. I saw a stat today that 99% of the bets are on Bills over. I'm not saying he's not going to rush for a lot. I'm just saying Eckler is the guy for me tonight, plus 2.
I thought it too, David. I think he looks good. I got to give him the compliment the few times he gets one from you.
Thank you. Yes. So Hector, welcome to the family. Austin Eckler, plus 250 anytime touchdown. Tucker Kraft, plus 195 anytime touchdown. Those are my two favorite anytime touchdown props. Let's move over to rushing. This is where I do look at Josh Jacobs, because I think where last week the Packers kind of couldn't get the run game going. I think that's what they will look to do tonight, and it'll be early and often. So I do like Josh Jacobs over rushing yards. It's sitting at 77.5, and I think they rely on him today more than they do on Love's arm, and that's going to be my favorite prop from tonight is Josh Jacobs over 77.5. On the Commander side, I keep going back and forth. Is Terry McLaurin going to get back into the offense? Yes. Is it going to be more Debo? Yes. So I'm struggling over there.
Well, here's my question to you, Jefe, because I'm looking into a little Terry as well. Last week, he should have had 2 touchdowns. Jaden missed him. He had walk-ins. He missed him. Overthrew him. One for sure. One was a for sure guaranteed walk-in.
Go right on the side.
Corner, was 10 yards behind him, blew by, just an awful throw. He's got another week of practice in him now, and the odds makers are not giving him the respect he deserves with the amount of touchdown production he's had over the last year and a half. So, JD, I want your input on this as well. But first, we'll go to Jefe because he was talking about it. Do you think it's a good Terry game? Because that's something I'm planning on talking about.
I'm going to be honest with you. I do not. And it has nothing to do with anything other than I think it takes more than a week to get back into real game shape.
That's fair.
This man was a what do you call it? A hold in, where you show up to training camp, but you just don't train. You just sit on the side. That's what he did for the entire summer. I mean, and it looked like that. The timing was off. Why do you think that go route that we're talking about from last week didn't connect? Was it all on Jaden Daniels? Because their timing was a little off. Timing is everything in football.
That was all on Jaden Daniels.
So with that being said, I'm on the Debo train. I think Debo showed Jaden Daniels that he could be there for him last week. I think that continues tonight.
I respect that.
His receptions over 4.5 are at minus 145. That's juicy. That's a very, very juicy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
His receiving yards, 53.5 minus 110. If Vegas is saying he's going to catch 5 balls and he's going to get around 10 yards, that I can see. I'm going with Debo, 53.5 receiving yards.
There we go. JD, what are your thoughts about Terry tonight and his production, and what props do you like in this game?
Man, as far as Terry, as far as it being, a Terry game, as far as yards and stuff like that, I'm really not sure. I don't think I would take those. But as far as his touchdown prop, I do like it because I have his actually break even here at a plus 155. It looks like you can get it at a plus 180 currently. So as far as just actually like a good value pick, I definitely like that one there. As far as other anytime touchdown scores, going with the quarterback score, man. Going with JD here, man, at a plus 172. I also really like that one.
And man, the way that it just took me a hot second to understand if you're talking in third person or if you're talking about Jaden Daniels.
But as far as actually Jaden Daniels goes, there's a prop, my actually favorite prop of the entire game. I believe Thomas put it in the chat. Hang on, let me go find it. Yeah, it was Thomas. Daniels, as far as his completion prop to go over 21 and This one I absolutely love. This is a game state where the Commanders are probably going to be behind. And I see him throwing the ball. I think that's going to be a lot of short stuff, and then actually mixed in with actually longer throws also. But I just think that this number is a little bit too actually low here, and actually this is my favorite prop of the game.
I respect that. I think he will go over that as well. I'll go into my touchdown props next, guys. I got 2x2 touchdown scoring props for you guys with the odds for both. First one, they're going to be the receivers. One guy who all offseason, everyone was telling me, he's got a banged up foot. This guy's not going to be able to produce. He's probably going to miss most of the season. He's going to be a fantasy dud. Well, Jaden Reed was electric in the week 1 game. His foot looked fine, and he was able to find the end zone and had a huge performance. Looked just like early season of last year, Jaden Reed. So the first guy I'm taking for 2+ touchdowns is going to be Jaden Reed. I'm parlaying him and partnering him with Terry McLaurin. I do think Terry has a big day today. So we're doing the wide receiver version of this, the 2x2, and $10 pays $1,440. So 14440. Big payout with that one. Second one we're going to is a man we saw get in the end zone last week against the New York Giants. We've also seen this man get in the end zone for what feels like the last 75 years. It's going to be Zach Ertz. We're taking Zach Ertz to find the end zone twice, and we are partnering him, believe it or not, with Tucker Kraft. The 2 tight ends. We're having a big tight end night here. Tucker Kraft 2, Zach Ertz 2. You can currently get that $10 pays $3,100. So those are some 2 long shot for you guys, some 2x2s. Those are the guys I think have the best chances to get in, and combine them with the ways I thought was going to be the best for a chance to hit one of these. As you guys know, I've hit 2 of these already this season. Let's hit our 3rd only in week 2. JD, what else do you like in this game? Any props? Besides the ones you went over, do you like any 2x2s, any long shot lottos, anything else you like in this before we move on to our final couple segments of the show? Before actually you do, Thomas, I do apologize. Today is just an NFL show. I do not have anything in the early baseball game, though. Do either of you guys have anything on the 1 o'clock baseball game in 8 minutes? Nothing from me.
As far as the Pitt games, I'm kind of staying away from those. They're just a team I don't really
remember what I spoke about earlier in the week. There's no point to take teams that have nothing to play for at this juncture. In the MLB season, you got to be aware, especially when they're playing a team that also has nothing to play for.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Feel the same. Back to you, JD.
Hey. As far as other props, I think I'm going to tail your tight end 2x2 there. That was, I think, of all the props that you shared there, I believe that was my favorite one. And I actually think that I'm about to put that in right after the show is done.
Hell yeah, dude. $10 to win $3,100. For me, it's a lottery ticket that you actually have chances on. So, I mean, like I said, we've won 2 already this year. Our biggest one so far this year was only $900, but yet again, still $10 won $900 is nothing to turn your head at least in my opinion. We're going for a couple bigger fish tonight, and I hope we do get those taken care of. All right, gentlemen. There's a few things left that we have to do on the show. The next thing is going to be our undefeated Hall of Fame player prop of the day. JD, would you do the honors? We have a comment from A. Russo saying, what is this prop? I'm not sure what you are asking us. Is it for our Hall of Fame prop of the day?
He probably means the 2x2.
The 2x2 that I gave out a few minutes ago is Zach Ertz to score 2 touchdowns, Tucker Kraft to score 2 touchdowns, parlayed in SGP. $10 pays $3,100. There we go.
Yeah. Now, there it is. Now there's what he was asking for. All right.
Gotcha, bro.
Let's go ahead and get into our Hall of Fame.
Which, yet again, JD, before you do, what's our record on these?
2-0.
Jefe, what's our record on these?
I believe it's the opposite of 0-2.
That is correct, and we are going to go 3-0 starting today. JD, break it down.
That's right. Today, we are going to go to a football prop. So right here, we're in the trends tab here. So we're going to go over here to the NFL. Then we're going to filter this. Guys, if you just get the app, there are a ton of plays here. And actually, this is for the whole week. This is for last 5 games, do last 10 games. There's a ton of stuff here that actually you can do. So just actually look through actually there. We're going to go to tonight's game. And then stat type is very specific. Kicking points. We're going to go to Alpha's guy, Matt Gay here. We're going to take his over 6.5 kicking points. His first game of the season, he only had 3. And that's why I think tonight we are getting this line.
He's due.
Yes. And this is a game where, like, actually, I have already talked about where I think that we see points here. So I think as far as actually field goals, I think he at least gets 1, but actually most likely 2. And then we only need an extra point, and then we have this hit.
It's a pretty good find, JD. I'm not going to lie. I like this one.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of different ways that actually this one hits, and I think that this could fly way over this. So you can currently get this at actually FanDuel at only minus 118. I think, this is definitely one of my favorite props of the day.
I like this one.
Guys, as far as this app, we keep talking about it, and we're not joking. We just love this app. Like, you can find like so many, like I said, there's kind of random props.
Yeah, JD, I was waiting for you to kind of go over the entire prop before I jumped here and said that, but these are going to be props that we're giving you guys daily. That is not something that you're going to take. These are just not things that you're going to normally take. Like, what was it? Nathan Luke's over 1 strikeout?
Yeah.
The guy yesterday that after the show, 8 people DM me. Who the hell is that? I've never heard of him to get over 1.5 HRR. These are plays you're only finding in HOF. These are plays with high percentage wins. So combine these plays that you're finding in HOF with our plays, with your plays, with whoever's plays you like, where you get your props from. It's a great tool to add to whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough about like how many plays like you can find. Like, I mean, yes, as far as in the mornings, like I'm like scrolling through a bunch of them and finding, one that I really like that kind of goes along with, whatever the game kind of like, whatever the game that we're talking about, the game that I think is going to kind of go with that. And with it, as far as the game actually like script goes, it's going to fall in line with it. But there are so many of these guys.
Bro, there are still reports coming out right now. Like Schefter had a blast go out, so I was like, ooh, maybe something important just came up I can give on the show before it's over. It's more about Lamar Jackson pushing the fan. Why is that all people are talking about? By the way, did anyone see the video of the fan? Like, Jefe, can we confirm that was really him? The guy in the video?
I hope so. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I don't know if you saw that, JD, but there was a fan who wore like a neck brace who went on who did like an interview, was like, I'm the guy who Lamar Jackson pushed, and I have severe neck pain now, and I'm going to sue. Absolutely hilarious. If that's him, that's the funniest thing.
So funny.
But yeah, they're still posting about this. Who the fuck cares? Sorry, I digress. But yeah, no, HOF. JD, what do we say on the show? We picked them as a sponsor or targeted them because we use them. We were already subscribers to HOF. We love their product. And JD, let them know the amazing deal that we have for them, the great promotion.
Yeah, guys, absolutely kind of crazy deal here. But you can get 50% off your first month plus a 7-day free trial. And to get that, you can use either the links posted if you're on YouTube right here below us. And as far as on Twitter, there's a tweet sent out with that. Or you can use promo code ATB50.
There we go. Promo code is what?
ATB50.
Boom. ATB50. All right. I think it's about time we get to our daily best bets. And JD, you know what that entails. Let's hear from our good friend, JD's cousin, Derek.
AbundantStake.io, the ultimate platform for sports.
I fucked up. I admit I fucked up. We're going to go into our best bets for today, Thursday, September 11th. Now we're going to JD's cousin, Derek, to break down who our best bets are sponsored by.
AbundantStake.io, the ultimate platform platform for sports traders looking to unlock their potential without risking their own money. We're here to help you transform your sports betting skills into a profitable and sustainable business. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Fun and Stake gives you the tools and capital to scale your success. Here's how it works. 1. Choose your account. Pick an account size that fits your needs, starting from $1,000 all the way up to $50,000. Your journey starts here. 2. Take the challenge. Hit the profit target while sticking to our risk management rules. For example, with a $10,000 account, aim for $3,300 in profit, place a minimum of 25 sports bets, and maintain the required daily and total loss limits. 3. Get funded. Once you pass the challenge, we'll provide the capital for you to trade. You can keep up to 80% of your profits while we take on all the financial risks. At fundedstake.io, you'll benefit from a fully personalized dashboard where you can monitor your trades, track your challenge progress, and place real-time bets on all major sports leagues. Our platform is built for transparency, ease of use, and performance. With fundedstake.io, you can focus on winning and scaling your success while we cover the risks. No financial stress, just growth and profits. Fundedstake.io. Bet smarter, scale faster, win bigger.
Bet smarter, scale faster, win bigger. Come on. That's our sponsor, Funded Stake. Guys, I don't really need to explain to you guys what Funded Stake is at this time. Y'all already know from seeing us do it every day. But they're a fantastic company where you can take a challenge, pass their challenge, and get to bet with their money and keep a portion of the returns. JD, what's better than gambling with someone else's money and keeping the returns, besides the things we can't talk about on there?
I was about to say, just actually besides those other couple things, there is nothing better.
I think we should have a day, JD, where we go over those things. Where we go over what's actually better than gambling with someone else's money. Jefe! Kind of yelled at you there. What are your best bets today, brother?
Hang on one second. I do have to say, as far as everybody that is actually signed up with us, we do have our first person who is actually funded now. Well, at least that I actually know of. So if anybody else has gotten funded, definitely let us know. But definitely have to shout out Nick in the chat here. He actually is the first person funded. From
our team, from the ATB team. He makes the immediate Hall of Fame. Guys, you get funded, you go through it, you get on the ATB Hall of Fame.
And cool thing is that in the Discord, we have a Funded Stake Discord channel now. And guess what? That same guy, Nick, happens to drop his plays there. So you may want to get in there. You may want to get signed up. And you may want to follow some of his plays so you can get funded also.
Hell yeah.
But let's let me bring up the screen here and let's get into gonna do some best bets here. Jefe, what do you got for us?
Let's go to Mr. Joshua's Jacobs over rushing yards.
Give me 1 second, I'll get there. Why do you like that one?
Well, like we spoke about when we went through the game, I think the game plan for the Packers, at least on offense, is to get him involved early and often. I think the way the Packers make this game control it is to win the time of possession battle, and nothing crushes an opponent's will to win and defense like running the ball down their throat and getting first downs. So I really do like Josh Jacobs was their bell cow last year. We saw him not really be involved too much last week until the fourth quarter. I think that's a different game plan for tonight. I see Jacobs early and often. 77.5. Yep.
Yep, 77.5. That's what we're gonna roll with here tonight. There's one that I also really like.
Boom.
Place that bet. All right, Alpha. What do you have for us now?
What do they have for the Packers -3 tonight? Shout out Brucey with the juicy showing up late. You're never too late, Brucey. We appreciate you tuning in every single day, brother. You can always rewind and check out what we said.
That's all the way down. The Packers, what now?
-3.
Did I miss it? I'm seeing
I
two
don't
and a
think
half.
so. I don't see any whole numbers here. Looks like they currently only have 0.5 lines, if I'm not mistaken.
That is what it's looking like.
Wait. Scroll up a little bit. Did I see 3 for the commies? No. Okay.
No, it's 3.5. Let me look. It has to be somewhere here.
I figured they'd have that because they've had that for baseball, like different ways you could move down the totals a lot. So I figured they'd have it. If not, I'm happy to give out a touchdown prop because fuck it, right? All right, JD, let's modify it. I'll go Tucker Kraft for a little more payout for the people. Plus 235 is what I currently have. What do we have for Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown?
Would have been better if I would have searched this.
I was going to say, I think you could just search Tucker Kraft and be one of the first ones.
Plus 203.
Well, what is this? This is his touchdown? Over 0.5 touchdowns?
Yes.
I'm good with that. A little bit better odds elsewhere, but usually Funded Stake has the better odds, so don't get confused just with this one game. They usually have better odds here than anywhere else.
Yep. All right, so Tucker Kraft, score touchdown plus 203. Place that. Then myself. I'm going to go on the total here, guys. I bet this at 48, but I think the 48.5 here is fine. So we're going to roll with that also.
Hell yeah.
Placed it. So just to go over them one more time. Got the Packers Commanders over 48.5. Have the Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown. Then we have Josh Jacobs over 77.5 rush yards.
Boom. JD. We've been here a while, brother. It is 1:07.
Yeah.
Did not think our 4-game college football show would go this long, but we appreciate the chat. You guys make this show what it is, and you guys helped us go over a ton of different stuff here. It's been an absolute blast. Jefe, right after you finish that sip of, first of all, what are we drinking?
What I drink every single day. A cold brew with almond milk, absolutely no sugar whatsoever.
There you go. You guys want to be like Jefe? You get a cold brew. You get it with almond milk and with absolutely zero sugar. Jefe! Anything to say to the people before I get the fuck out of here today?
I think tonight is going to be a really good game between two really good teams. Don't be surprised if it's nasty football. I wouldn't be shocked if this is just.
I'm pumped for this game.
These two defenses are good. Like, just don't be shocked that this is not like a whoa, Jaden Daniels and Jordan Love look amazing game. These are two really good teams that I expect to both make the playoffs.
There you go. Over to you, JD. You got to do what you do. I'm getting hungry, brother.
Yeah, just one more thing really quick, guys. As far as our sponsors go, we have to be shout out to them. And I do have to say, as far as all the sponsors that we've had on this show over the past, year and a half almost, probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but these are my personal favorite ones.
Me too.
Because actually behind the scenes, the guys that are behind the scenes on both of these companies, they're all really good guys. They're all fun to talk to, and they actually really help us out. So yeah, absolutely love them. But just have to show our little slide here. Once again, for the HOF app, you can get that 50% off plus a 7-day free trial. Code ATB50. And then for Funded Stake, you can get 20% off any challenge that goes for the 1K all the way up to the 100K. Make sure to use code MBM20 there.
Also, JD, quickly before we get off that, with either of those, especially with the Funded Stake Challenge, you guys can hit us up. If you guys join it and you want help, you have questions about the game, you want to ask Nick, because Nick in the chat, who's in the Discord, has already passed this challenge. We're here to help you guys. We want you guys to get funded. We want to help you guys make money with someone else's dollar. Also, same with the HOF app. We've been showing you it every day. We keep hitting these crazy bets that you probably wouldn't think to even look at. Make sure you guys check both them out. Best way to support us, best way to support the show, outside of our VIP, obviously, is to help sign up with some of our sponsors. It's what keeps the show going. It powers our show and keeps us being able to come on here every single day and chop it up with you guys. JD, after the sentimental hour, we're kicking it back over to you.
Yep. Just one more little quick thing. I do have a max baseball play that goes tonight. It is on one of the later games. I've hit 73% over my last 30 max plays. So the max plays are hitting at a very high rate. If you want to deal on that, send me a DM, send it to the Line Movers page, send it actually to the MBM page, send it in the Discord. It doesn't matter. Just actually find me in one of those places, and I will get you a code. But guys, besides that, just like Jefe said, yeah, tonight's game should be a good one, and I am
100%.
very pumped. It's not very often that we get a Thursday night game that we're like
pumped about. Remember last year's like first 10 dog shit in a row Thursday games, dude? We were getting some brutal ones. So we're back getting some good ones. The NFL listened to us, and let's all enjoy it.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's everybody enjoy that. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and let's fucking win.
Yeah, man. And everybody make sure to tune in tomorrow. Hour-long show, 40 minutes on why Dart will start week 4 and not 3.
I've already ended the show. It should start any second. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Fuck you.